Genesis 41 opens with Joseph still waiting, 2 long years after the cupbearer forgot him. Then Pharaoh has 2 dreams that terrify him. First, 7 fat cows swallowed by 7 skinny cows. And second, 7 healthy heads of grain swallowed by 7 thin ones. None of Egypt's magicians can explain it. And suddenly the cupbearer remembers, oh yeah, there was this guy in prison. That guy is Joseph, and he's about to step into history. Joseph is rushed out, shaved, cleaned, and brought before Pharaoh, who tells him the dreams, and Joseph's response is key. I cannot do it, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. That humility stands out, because after betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and prison, Joseph could have been bitter. But instead, he points straight to God. And here's the punchline. The bride of Christ doesn't rise by self-promotion, but by pointing to the one who raises the lowly. James 4 verses 10 says, Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Joseph explains the dreams. 7 years of abundance, then 7 years of famine. And Pharaoh should appoint someone wise to oversee storage. And right there, Pharaoh says, You are that man. Overnight, Joseph trades his prison rags for royal robes. The signet ring is slipped on his finger, and he rides in Pharaoh's second chariot. Think about it. In one day, Joseph goes from forgotten inmate to ruler of Egypt. The bride of Christ has the same story. Sometimes invisible, often mocked, but destined to reign with Christ. Paul says in Romans chapter 8, verse 17, If we suffer with him, we will also be glorified with him. But the story isn't just about Joseph's promotion. It's about his stewardship. During abundance, he gathers grain, and during famine, nations come to Egypt for food. The church is called to the same role, to be a storehouse in times of spiritual famine. While the world starves, the bride carries bread. Christ, the bread of life. Imagine Joseph looking at barns filled with grain and thinking, all those years in the pit and prison finally make sense. For the bride of Christ, the barns are people, the nations are hungry, and the provision is already in our hands. Genesis 41 ends with Joseph standing in a palace, married, with children, his past pain redefined by God's timing. The church can take heart in that, because what feels like delay is not wasted, and what looks like silence is set up. The bride of Christ rises not on the world's schedule, but on God's. If you believe the bride of Christ is called to feed nations and rise at God's perfect time, then put the word timing in the comments. Because in Christ's church, the prison isn't forever, but the palace is waiting,